Coming to you after another great workout and a great training session with a great friend, a brother, and a man that I absolutely love. But we're not going to say who he is because it's confidential information if I personally train somebody, unless they tell me it's okay to talk about him, but he didn't yet because I didn't ask. And you know what that means. It's One Wellness Nerd Out time! Hey guys, how you doing? Happy One Wellness Nerd Out time, you guys, your favorite part of the day. And today, we're going to be talking about, there's JMO making his daily appearance. Today, we're going to be talking about thiamine, aka thiamine, or vitamin B1. So all those three terms are interchangeably synonymous, right, when we talk about thiamine. And that's what we're going to refer to it as for the remainder of this discussion. But let's get into the meat and potatoes without further ado. So when we talk about thiamine, before we get into any benefits or dosage or anything like that, I want to make it very clear that the vast majority of people, healthy people, do not have a thiamine deficiency. Usually, you really don't need to supplement with any extra thiamine, as we get so much through the diet. It's in so many different foods, and we'll talk about what those are at the end here, of course, But again, usually you do not need extra thiamine in the form of supplementation. But if you want some extra benefits, or if you have certain conditions that we'll talk about in a little bit, then you do need a little bit more, or at least you're going to want a little bit more, most likely, okay? So first, let's talk about one of the major ways that thiamine acts in the body, and I'll give the premise that it increases energy levels. Thiamine has the potential to increase energy levels, and this thiamine, B1 or thiamine, is an essential nutrient. It's an essential vitamin, as are all B vitamins, because our body doesn't produce them, right? So, we have to get it through the diet or, again, supplementation, but we usually get enough just about from the diet. Now, given that premise of, increased energy, right? Well, thiamine, very interestingly, is a coenzyme to pyruvate dehydrogenase, which is an enzyme that promotes or catalyzes the conversion of pyruvate into acetyl-CoA. And if you were with us in our discussions on cellular respiration a few weeks ago here at One Wellness, or if you're just familiar with cellular respiration in itself, you know that glycolysis occurs. We break down that glucose into those 2-pyruvate, along with a little bit of ATP, other things too. But after we get that pyruvate, we have to convert it again via pyruvate dehydrogenase into acetyl-CoA. So that acetyl-CoA can combine with the keto acid, oxaloacetate, and then go through the citric acid cycle. The first step, fun fact, being the conversion into citrate via the enzyme citrate synthase. After we go through that Krebs cycle, I always do this for our Krebs cycle, aka citric acid cycle, thing, right? Because it's an energy thing, producing energy, this cyclic thing happening in the Krebs cycle, right? Then goes to the electron transport chain, the byproducts that is, and then we get bulk amounts of ATP when all is said and done, right? Among a few other things. So again, involved in energy production is pyruvate dehydrogenase in that sense. And so if we have an essential coenzyme for pyruvate dehydrogenase, being thiamine, well, it's no surprise that it plays a role in energy production, right? So it makes a lot of sense for you guys, right? And on top of increased energy levels, we have a lot more benefits with thiamine, and those include increased motivation, improved memory, improved focus. Thiamine's even been shown to help alleviate chronic pain, anxiety, and depression. So, all great things that we get with thiamine, right? And even if we didn't know all those benefits of thiamine, we know it's important to get your B vitamins, so just get them regardless, right? And again, you get it, through the diet first and foremost, as you do everything just about we talk about here when wellness, right? You always diet first, supplementation second, okay? So having said that, there are certain demographics, however, that are generally deficient in thiamine, at least much of the time. And a few of those are people with high blood glucose levels and alcoholics. So, it's very important if you are, part of these patient demographics that you do supplement with thiamine. All right. And when we talk about the dosage for these types of people, well, you're looking at 100 to 300 milligrams per day of thiamine. Now, that's the most you're going to have to take for any demographic, and you don't have to, again, you just might want to because you're probably deficient in thiamine if you're an alcoholic or have high blood glucose levels. But for other demographics, and first let's talk about the average healthy person that is 19 years of age and older. So, for both healthy males and females that are above 18 years of age, well, you only need 1.2 and 1.1 milligrams per day, respectively. And, that of course, therefore, is our RDA, or recommended dietary allowance for thiamine. Again, 1.2 milligrams in healthy males above 18 years of age, and 1.1 milligrams per day in healthy females above 18 years of age. All right. So what about the other benefits, right? What about that increased motivation, that focus, that improved memory, right? The aid in relieving chronic pain and depression and anxiety. Well, if you want those benefits, you're going to have to take a little bit extra generally, and that's about 50 to 100 milligrams of thiamine per day. So not quite as much as the alcoholics out there or people with high blood glucose levels. And by the way, the reason it's good for people with high blood glucose levels is because thiamine improves insulin sensitivity. So again, thiamine improves insulin sensitivity. Just one more of its many benefits, and that is why it's good for people with high blood glucose. All right. So what are some food sources that we can get thiamine from? Because you're telling us that if we eat like anything, we're going to get thiamine. We don't got to worry about it, right? Well, not just anything, but it's a lot of things, people. The list is long, and generally healthier foods, of course, right? That we always talk about are full of B vitamins. And when we talk about thiamine, well, number one on the list, just about top the table, we have lean pork chops. Lean pork chops, one serving, that is, of lean pork chops, provide 1.1 milligrams of thiamine. And that's that full RDA for, again, healthy females above 18 years of age. And that's just about there for healthy males above 18 years of age, right? You're off by 0.1 milligrams. Yeah, but who's counting? So you can see, lean pork chops, top the table. Aside from that, you've got salmon, trout, tuna, catfish, navy beans, black-eyed peas, green peas, lentils, macadamia nuts, mussels, pistachios, acorn squash, asparagus. And that's, those are just to name a few. I mean, there are so many sources, again, of thiamine, but that's a bunch of them, people. So if you want to get some, go eat some of that good stuff. What do you say? Who do we got here? Who tuned in today? Sammy! What's up, my brother? How you doing, baby? Miss you, man, and I love you. Enjoy Ragbri, all right? Ride extra fast for me, all right? I doubt you'll do that, but do it. Nikki, what's up, girl? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you on here. Gino, my man, coming at the bell. What's up, buddy? How you doing, brother? Good to see you on here. And I hope you guys got something out of this. So thank you very much great quick discussion on thiamine. Tomorrow we'll talk about riboflavin B2. And we're going to be talking about B vitamins this entire week. All right? Yeah, my brother. What's up, baby? We'll be talking about them this entire week. So if you want to hear about some good stuff, and that's B vitamins, you stick with us for the remainder of this week, you guys. All right? Have a fantastic rest of your night. Happy When Wellness, and we'll see you tomorrow, baby. Thank you.